Welcome back to Time with God series, Joyce Meyer's Everyday Life Bible Journey for busy moms, busy people. Today we are reading Leviticus chapter 14. I'm WendyMichelle Thompson. And the Lord said to Moses, "This shall be the law of the leper on the day when he is to be pronounced clean. He shall be brought to the priest at a meeting place outside the camp. The priest shall go out of the camp to meet him, and he shall examine him. And if the disease is healed in the leper, then the priest shall command to take him, who is to be cleansed, 2 living clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet material, and hyssop." Verse 5. And the priest shall command to kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over fresh running water. As for the living bird, he shall take it, the cedar wood, and the scarlet material, and the hyssop, and he shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle the blood on him who is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let go the living bird into the open field. He who is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, shave off all his hair, and bathe himself in water, and he shall be clean. After that he shall come into the camp, but stay outside his tent 7 days. But on the 7th day he shall shave all his hair off his head, his beard, his eyebrows, and his body, and he shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water and be clean. Verse 10. On the 8th day he shall take 2 he-lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb a year old without blemish, and 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a cereal offering, mixed with oil, and 1 log of oil. And the priest who cleanses him shall set the man who is to be cleansed, and these things before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. The priest shall take 1 of the male lambs and offer it for a guilt or trespass offering, and the log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. He shall kill the lamb in the place where they kill the sin offering and the burnt offering, in the sacred place, the court of the tabernacle. For as the sin offering is the priest, so is the guilt or trespass offering. It is most holy. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the guilt or trespass offering, and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot. Verse 15. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle some of the oil with his finger 7 times before the Lord. And of the rest of the oil that is in this, and of the rest of the oil that is in his hand, shall the priest put some on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot, and on the blood of the guilt or trespass offering, which he has previously placed in each of these places. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him who is to be cleansed, and make atonement for him before the Lord. And the priest shall offer the sin offering, and make atonement for him who is to be cleansed from his uncleanliness, and afterward kill the burnt offering, the victim, and the sin offering, and the sin of the Verse 20. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the cereal offering on the altar, and he shall make atonement for him, and he shall be clean. If the cleansed leper is poor and cannot afford so much, he shall take one lamb for a guilt or trespass offering to be waved to make atonement for him, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil for a cereal offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he can afford, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing to the priest at the door of the tent of meeting before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the guilt or trespass offering and the log of oil, and shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. Verse 25. And he shall kill the lamb of the guilt or trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the offering and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of the right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall put some of the oil on the palm of his own left hand, and shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Lord. The priest shall put some of the oil in his hand on the tip of the right ear of the one to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of the right foot, on the places where he has put the blood of the guilt offering. The rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put on the head of the one to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before the Lord. Verse 30. And he shall offer one of the turtle doves or the young pigeons, such as he is able to get, as he can afford, one of the turtle doves or of the young pigeons, such as he is able to get, as he can afford, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, together with a cereal offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him who is to be cleansed before the Lord. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, who is not able to get what is required for his cleansing. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when you have come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the disease of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession, verse 35, then he who owns the house shall come and tell the priest, it seems to me there is some sort of disease in my house. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before he goes in to examine the house, before he goes in to examine the disease, so that all that is in the house may not be declared unclean. Afterward he shall go in to see the house. He shall examine the disease, and if it is in the walls of the house with the depressed spots of dark green or dark red appearing beneath the surface of the wall, there's a purpose for my wall. What do you guys think about it? He shall examine the disease, and the priest shall go out of the door and shut up the house for 7 days. The priest shall come again on the 7th day and shall look, and if the disease has spread in the walls of the house, verse 40, he shall command that they take out the diseased stones and cast them into an unclean place outside the city. He shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and the plaster or mortar that is scraped off to be emptied out in an unclean place outside the city. And they shall put other stones in the place of those stones, and he shall plaster the house with fresh mortar. If the disease returns, breaking out in the house after he has removed the stones and has scraped and plastered the house, then the priest shall come and look. And if the disease is spreading in the house, it is a rotting or corroding leprosy in the house. It is unclean. Verse 45, he shall tear down the house, its stones and its timber, and all the plaster or mortar of the house, and shall carry them forth out of the city to an unclean place. Moreover, he who enters the house during the whole time that it is shut up shall be unclean until the evening, and he who lies down or eats in the house shall wash his clothes. But if the priest inspects it, and the disease has not spread after the house was plastered, he shall pronounce the house clean, because the disease is healed. He shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, cedar wood, scarlet material, and hyssop. Verse 50, and he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood and the hyssop and the scarlet material and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, the running water, the living bird, the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet material. But he shall let the living bird go out of the city into the open field. So he shall make atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the law for all kinds of leprous diseases and mange-like conditions. Verse 55, for the leprosy of a garment or of a house, and for a swelling or an eruption or a scab or a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. And that concludes Leviticus chapter 14. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Give me a like with a thumbs up. Please share with others. And let's just pray over this playlist that it can reach more and more people. It has been a delight to see the numbers growing, and I know that it will continue to do so. Please always think about sharing the Lord. Whenever you feel it on your heart, you know God has something that wants to be said. Don't fear about not having the right words. God will give you those words, and later you'll say, how did that come out of my mouth? Because I feel tongue-tied, or this or that, or have fear of speaking or bringing up such subjects. It is amazing if you allow God to enter your heart, your brain, and use your mouth. He will give you those words. I love you all. God bless your today and all your tomorrows.